Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship, round 5 of 10 for 2018. We're at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna, Seca in Monterey County, nestled between Salinas and Monterey. And we're at the championship of Monterey. I'm Greg White. Sitting alongside me is Jason Pridmore, who's won a couple world titles in FIM World Endurance, a couple AMA titles in his day. And we're getting set for the Laguna Junior Cup race. You can see it is a beautiful day outside. It's now broken clouds, but just 30 minutes ago, we were completely socked in when we arrived at the racetrack this morning. It was definitely foggy, but we expect some changing conditions even during the course of this race as we have a look at the famous corkscrew. Jason, how are you this morning?
Great, yeah. Just the morning when we woke up, Greg, it was so bright and sunny. It was perfect this morning. It was a typical Monterey day, and we drove into the track. It was overcast. We knew that we were, or not overcast, but just a little bit of the June gloom.
Yeah.
So it put us at a little bit of a delay, but the track, this is what's great about it, the track didn't suffer. All the times this morning were faster in every session. So all the practices that went out, we just got done watching World Superbike. They went quicker than they've gone. So I think the track's perfect, and we're shaping up for a good day. All
right, so Laguna Junior Cup is set. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to talk about 27 riders who've qualified for this race here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. So we'll see you on the other side of this break. All right, so we're back to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and the Laguna Junior Cup bikes are out on their warm-up lap. We take a look at our starting grid. Ashton Yates on pole with a 138.855.
Great lap by Ashton. This would be a track I'd expect him to do pretty well at. Mark Edwards, Alex Dumas. How about Jamie Astudillo? Climbed up there with Jay Newton and Corey Ventura on row 2. Jackson Blackman, Gavin Anthony, and Dallas Daniels, row 3. Sean Barsky, Cameron Jones, and Hel Almeida there. See row 4, back to Gage Reese, Nicholas Swensgaard, good to see him back. Joseph Blasius there, row 5. Then we got Toby Campster, Drake Beecham, back there, row 7, Trevor Standish, Dylan Deutschlander, Nate Minster, Jack Roach, Hunter Dunham, Ryan Deutschlander. A little bit further back, Kevin Noldy, Robert Roach, and we have another lady on the grid today, Emily Grana, made her first time start here at Laguna Seca. They did a bunch of stuff. Graves was kind enough to help them out a little bit, get her on the grid, and she's on the grid for her first MotoAmerica.
So 27 riders taking this one as we await the start. 12 laps scheduled for the Laguna Junior Cup class, and a variety of motorcycles, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and KTM on the front row. We're ready to go. Lights go red, and then they go off, and we're heading to turn number 1.
And these little bikes, Greg, getting up this hill is going to be a struggle for them on their opening lap. Great start from the front row for Alex Dumas. You can see Ashton kind of gets ate up at the beginning of the race here because they got to gear that bike pretty tall. So it's going to be interesting to see where he can slot himself in as he comes down into that all-important first turn 2 here. And Ashton's going to be all the way back in about 7th or 8th spot. That's not going to last long. He's going to start moving himself up pretty quickly, will Ashton. But it's important for these other guys to get off to a good start here. Jamie Astudillo up to 3rd. Looks like Alex Dumas leading. I'm not sure if that's is it Jake Newton or Mark Edwards there in 2nd, right? It's hard to see the numbers. 26.
Yep. So, that's Mark Edwards.
Yep,
Mark Edwards, our 2nd place qualifier.
Yep, and he did a great job yesterday. He did a fantastic job getting to the front. You see Ashton back there right now, trying to do his best to get by Dallas Daniels as he goes underneath a couple guys going into turn 5. So Ashton's done what he's needed to do on this opening lap and get himself in the mix. 5th as they go up into turn 6 for this opening lap.
So Alex Dumas out of Quebec, Canada on the KTM Orange Brigade JP43 training. That's the RC390R. If you're watching Laguna Junior Cup for the first time, this is the class that replaced the KTM RC Cup from last year, and that's why you're seeing a variety of manufacturers in the mix.
And get a really good look there at Jay Newton coming down the hill, looking for Corey. I think Corey's just behind him. Yeah, you can see Corey back there running about 6th right now, but Corey will be another guy that will move up as Ashton Yates goes underneath Jamie Astudillo in turn 10. So all in all, not a bad first lap for Ashton. I figured this place would probably be the hardest place for him to start, being that he's so big and this uphill start. It can tend to separate the field a bit, but Ashton's done a very aggressive first lap there. We look a little bit further back, see Gage Reese, Drake Beecham back there as well. Jamie Astudillo goes back past Ashton down that front straightaway.
Same motorcycles. That is the Kawasaki Ninja 300 that those two are riding. Astudillo, of course, from motocross fame. Redlands Amateur Nationals, very fast. Turned pro in motocross last year. Got her first podium in her first race. This is her second season now road racing. Astudillo sits 8th in the points, and she does have a podium. She has one podium appearance. The first woman to finish on a podium in a MotoAmerica professional race.
Yep, you
Jamie
see
Astudillo.
Mark Edwards was having a look there, and Ashley had, oh, Jamie Astudillo goes down. Just a little bit too much trail braking going into turn 5. It's a pretty common spot. Glad to see she's up and okay. But Ashton was trying to go underneath her, and she ran it off in there really hard, Greg. And just a little bit too much front brake. You see Ashton getting out over the curbing on the exit of turn 6. He's doing his best to try to keep up as much roll speed as he can going up that big steep hill. It's a big steep hill at turn 6. If you've never been here before, you start heading up towards that corkscrew.
So Mark Edwards putting on an absolutely fantastic display of riding here around this racetrack.
He's doing a good job just hanging in there behind Alex. And they've done a few more things with the rules this weekend, and you can see they've really done a good job of trying to make it to where the class can be closer. Now we've got all 3 manufacturers all fighting, and you can see Corey Ventura has now made his way up to 4th. He was able to get by Jay Newton, who's still right there running in 5th.
Ashton's still looking at it. He just gets so out of shape on acceleration. He has a lot of movement, does the 22 when he's riding this motorcycle. Now you can see they're all bunched up, heading down into turn number 2. A little bit of an advantage for Alex Dumas.
Still, what they've done is they've done some different things with the rules to try to get the KTM slowed down. Oh, and there goes Mark Edwards. He got out there just a little bit wide. He just got out there just a little bit wide, Greg, and looked like he was trying to get on the gas. And I think that sometimes with these little bikes, it gives you that sense of encouragement that, hey, I can get on the gas as hard as I want. There's not as much horsepower. But it just looked like he just lost the rear. Now Ashton, well up the back at Alex here. They get into turn 5. See if he tries to make a pass, and he does. He makes a pass very clean underneath Alex Dumas. They head into turn 5. Now we're going to see if he can do anything with it. You can see how long Ashton keeps that bike on the edge of the tire coming out of 5, just trying to keep up all that speed. Heading up this big hill.
You see the size difference too, Jason. Look at Alex Dumas. He's able to get in the tuck to the replay of this.
You see it's just a little bit wide. Ashton was underneath him. Yeah, he just lost that rear just a little bit and spun him out. So hopefully he can get up and keep going. Jay Newton's gone with these first 3. This is kind of the 3 that we thought would get away. Thought Mark Edwards would be there. Jay Newton's been up there as the year's gone on as well. So it's good to see him just trying his best to hang on with this. But now we've got some good racing. 3 different manufacturers up here. We got 2 Yamahas, got a KTM and a Kawasaki, all fighting for the win here. Now Corey Ventura slides up underneath Alex Dumas. They go into turn 11. These guys don't want to play around too much against each other because they're going to allow Ashton to get out even more in front. That's what they don't want. I think Ashton has the potential to pull away in this race right.
Jay Newton's in back there in 4th on that AGV Sport American Monkey Moto Machine. Of course, the 64 Corey Ventura on that MP13 Racing Yamaha. Oh, and Alex Dumas up and out of the saddle. He nearly launched it. I mean, he nearly launched it. What a save for Dumas. So he's going to slide back to 4th. Boy, a good bit of riding that fucking Bronco, and maybe a sign for what's going on. Even the rear end of that KTM, not set up to perfection for this one. Limited track time compared to what we usually have here because of the accelerated schedule with Corey's bike.
Now the fear is that Ashton's starting to get away. Dallas Daniels just back there in 5th place. But now, oh, did we lose somebody else? We did. Corey Ventura's gone down in turn 5 now. Wow. So they are dropping like flies right now, are these guys. And boy, when I looked up and I saw that he was gone there, Greg. Yep, Corey's just buried the thing, and that's big. I believe he's 3rd or 4th in the points.
Yeah, Corey's 4th in the points. Jay 68 points. He's had only one podium finish this year. He was really poised for his 2nd. So disappointment for the MP13 race team. Really works in the favor for Alex Dumas because at this point it doesn't look like Alex had the pace to stick with Corey Ventura, but now into 3rd spot.
Yep, and it also helps Ashton as well. So it's going to create that little bit of a gap even more now. So Ashton's done a tremendous job being able to break away. Now Alex is just going to have to try to go to work on Jay Newton. He's doing a really good job in 2nd place at the moment. Really clean race Jay's run so far. 38.8 that lap for Ashton, fastest lap of the race. In comparison, the other 2 are at 40.1 to 1:08, so he's over a second a lap quicker than the second and third place riders. A little bit further back there, Dallas Daniels is by himself, first time at Laguna Seca, and he's seen this place as well. And we can see they got somebody on the edge of the track on the exit of turn 2. So working on somebody. We didn't get to see what happened there, Greg.
No, we don't really know who that is, but race action continues. As Jay Newton out of Montgomery, Texas. Newton's sitting sixth in the points so far this season. Newton has had one podium finish, a third place. Now, in terms of race winners in this class, it's been nothing but Alex Dumas, the number 23 there, and Ashton Yates, who's out front. Dumas, his only podium appearances has been the 4 race wins.
Yep.
He's had a very up and down season, no question about it. Although heading into this one, we didn't get to talk about it, but Dumas has a slim 2-point advantage. So we could see as Dumas is going to make the pass now into second spot and try to minimize the loss of points damage here. If it finished like this, with Ashton out front and Dumas in second place, we would see a change at the top of the leaderboard. Ashton would take over by 3, but it's still early days in this race. Dumas starting to figure out what's going on with that bike in terms of the rear grip.
Yep.
As Jay Newton now is going to go back to work on Dumas and figure out where he's strong.
Yep, Jay's going to get a good look now where he might be able to try to pull back on Alex, and maybe they can try to work together a little bit. At this track, Greg, you know, we've talked about it here before. Laguna Seca, there's not a big drafting impact on most bikes, but on these little bikes, these straightaways aren't long enough. And you can see Jay is directly in line behind Alex as they come up over turn 1 here. And that lap there, 39.9 is Alex's fastest, but he still lost 7/10 to the guy leading out in front right now. So,
and this is the way Ashton rides, by the way. He's not going to go out there and just manage the 3.1 second lead. Ashton likes to ride at full tilt all the time. And so far, so good. It hasn't it hasn't yet bitten him.
Caught him out or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So he just likes to keep pushing.
We talked about Alex. He had a mechanical gremlin in Atlanta that prevented him from starting the second race, and then he made a mistake at MotoAmerica and crashed while leading on the opening lap. And you can see Jay's right behind him right now as they head into turn 5.
Constant rule changes in this class. It's the first year for MotoAmerica run the Laguna Junior Cup class. And in terms of the RPM and weight restrictions, things have changed since the beginning of the year a couple of times to bring some parity to the class. Because when we first showed up, when this class first arrived on the scene, it looked like those KTMs, the RC390Rs, were just outclassed the entire field, as were the Kawasaki's in terms of the R3. So the people that organize this class and look at the rules have done some things to allow the Yamaha R3 a little bit more modifications for more horsepower and restricted RPM and added a little bit of weight on these motorcycles. So it's a constant adjustment, and you're seeing it right now as Dumas.
It looked like it almost had a problem, Greg. It looked like I heard a bike on the limiter, so see if that plays into anything here, see what happens. Because it looked like maybe he's doing an upshift out of turn 10. These little bikes are shifting all over the place all the time. So it'll be interesting to see if you have a problem with it. Past Jay, again, up over turn 1. So you can see the KTM still has a little bit extra to it. And they actually ran him, let's see here, Greg, 39.9. They chipped into Ashton. Ashton's having a problem, Greg. Ashton's got a problem right now with his motorcycle.
Yeah,
I just saw him looking down, and I saw that he's looking down. You can see it, Greg. He's got a problem.
Looking down on the left side.
These guys are closing him in at the moment. So let's see.
Maybe shifter problem.
Yeah, you know, I heard something, and it could have been Ashton that we heard in our headsets here, because there was definitely a problem. And in the first split, right now, they've closed a little bit more on it, but it looks like Ashton's got whatever he needed to get sorted. So let's look at the second split, 20.4. Yes, whatever happened, he's got it sorted out. He's pulled away almost half a second again on these guys in the second split.
By the way, Jamie Ostadio and Mark Edwards are up circulating the racetrack. They're just one lap down, so Ostadio is up to 23rd. Just ahead of Emily Grant and Mark Edwards back on 25th for early fallers. Corey Ventura and Jack Roach are the 2 riders that are out of this one. 6 laps to go around this famed 2.2-mile WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. You're watching the Liqui Junior Cup race number 1. Well, the only race we're going to have actually for this particular event.
If you look and see here, this is the past for second just now, but if you look and see Ashton how he responded. I'm not exactly sure what happened. He ran the fastest third split of the race, and he's still, wow, they're catching him again, Greg. So there's definitely something going on bad with his bike. Looking at the top speed, 98.9. I know he's gone through there quicker than that before. The other two are at 105 and 104. So Ashton's got something weird going in. Now,
it's that last split too.
But Greg, could it be a clutch? Could it be something like that where he's on the gas down the straightaway and the clutch is doing its thing? I bet you know what? He was adjusting the clutch when he came out of turn 2 a lap ago. And I'm wondering now if it's the same thing. We have seen Ashton have problems with the clutch only because of the starts.
Yeah, the
he's
tall
so big,
yeah.
And especially going uphill here. So let's watch as he goes up the hill out of turn 6 in a minute. This is out of turn 5 now. But these guys have closed up on him again in the first split. They've lost time again in the second. Is there a red flag? I saw somebody waving.
Yeah, it looked like Jay Newton was waving.
Yep, they're waving. So there's a red flag, Greg. So something's happened out there on the track. I'm looking at our screens right now to see if there's anybody to drop down, but this is down through the corkscrew here. Don't see anything there.
Maybe in that incident, maybe the rider they were taking care of in turn 2, but I didn't see it on the exit.
It's a big break for Ashton. If this race, if they actually call it, it's a big break for him, only because it looked like he was definitely having a problem. So,
yeah, it's up to race control discretion. If we're past the halfway point, they can't call it.
He's ridden so well. Yeah, there's somebody on the outside of turn 3, Greg. They're just
So working on the rider on the exit of turn number 3.
They've got him up. Generally, that's going to be a high side out of turn 3. That's going to be one of those getting the bike on the side, give it a lot of gas.
All right, so we'll take a commercial break. We will get all this sorted out and let you know what's going on when we come back. All right, welcome back to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Bikes are on track for their warm-up lap as we're going to restart this race after an incident that happened in turn number 3. And so they're going to re-grid in the order in which they finished lap number 5. So there should be 5 laps to go on this restart. So Ashton Yates will be on pole and Jay Newton, Alex Dumas. Here's the incident involving Cameron Jones, number 11, and Gavin Anthony.
Cameron went in there first and tipped over low side, it looked like. And then Gavin, who's been one of our front runners all year, he went in and looked like he did the same thing. They looked like 2 separate incidents. They didn't look like they got into each other, but you know, just when you look at red flags, especially like for somebody like Ashton who got a 2-point-something second lead, you go, oh man, there's always somebody that's going to be really bummed about a red flag. And there's always going to be somebody that's really happy about a red flag. And you got to think that it's the guy that we're just, there's Ashton. The guy right behind him right there is Sean Obarski, though. Sean, it qualified back in 12th, I believe, Greg, and he's up to 7th now. So he's made some moves to get back up to the front, and this could be really beneficial for him if he can get off the line well enough to go with these other guys. And in fact, they might, since Gavin isn't restarting the race, that might bump Sean up to the 2nd row. I'm looking out the window. Nope, he's still going to be 3rd, so 3rd row. But the thing I think we got to be careful too here, again, is I'm curious to know what was going on with Ashton's bike there towards the end of that first little segment of the race, and how is he going to get this bike off the line? Again, that's what we got to be concerned with, making sure we don't burn up clutches. You see Jamie Astudillo made the start again from back there.
So it looks like Gavin Anthony will not start this one yet.
Didn't start. Yep.
And Cameron Jones is out there. So here we go. Restart. 5 to go. Look at the number 22. He got a much better launch.
Yep, so did Dallas Daniels. Dallas Daniels is going down the outside. Ashton Yates got a tremendous start. Wow. Dallas Daniels might lead him into turn 1, though. I believe Ashton will probably let the brake lever off just like that and go in there and take the lead with Alex Dumas just right behind him. But Dallas Daniels, a good start. Getting himself into 3rd. Now he's going to drop back to 4th. You see Marski got a good start. He's up to 5th. Jay Newton has got himself back to 3rd. We had some action in the background, didn't we? Yeah, I didn't know if there was a rider down. Definitely saw some dust.
Yeah, puff of dust. So we'll check that. But so Dumas right back in the mix.
Now we got to see. Look at Ashton. Look how much corner speed Ashton carries through 3 and 4. Really, really fast through 3 and 4.
Jay Newton trying to get a draft. You can see that the R3 not quite as fierce on the top end as the KTM RC 390. It's top end meaning of the RPM range. Ashton Yates, number 22 on the Yates Racing Kawasaki.
That's Jackson Blackman. And yeah, we got Jackson Blackman there, just behind him. That's who that is, great. But yeah, Ashton Yates.
Jackson Blackman, by the way, is on 18.
Yep.
That's that new Tucker, that new branded bike. That's the old Tucker Rocky.
Difference
they
in
rebranded
lines
themselves.
coming down the hill between Ashton and the two behind him. The two behind him were much more direct coming down the hill. Closed up a lot of time. Oh, there goes Jay Newton. Jay Newton goes down and Ashton Yates. I thought I saw Ashton lose the rear in the middle of turn 10. I did think I saw that just out of my picture, Greg. It looked like the bike went sideways. We're going to have to go back and look and see that. But now we got Dallas Daniels, Sean Barsky, Jackson Blackman all going for this second spot, as that actually allowed Alex Dumas to just pull out a little bit. Hey, Ashton Yates, I'm not sure what was happening, but I saw him lose the rear just in the left bottom portion of our camera shot, and Jay Newton had lost the front.
A lot of speed going through, and that's what happens on these laps. You can get sucked in with someone else's speed, and obviously Alex Dumas.
There was nothing between the two of them. Jay definitely lost the front, and Ashton definitely lost the rear. But he lost a lot of time coming down the hill from the corkscrew into Rainy Corner, did Ashton. So I'm wondering if something was going on there. But now you got this big battle for second place, because that has just allowed Alex to pull away ever so slightly. I believe that's Jarrett Nassini, maybe there in fifth. And if that is the case, Greg, we haven't seen him race this class this year, I don't believe. I know he runs in the 600 classes. We also got Jake Beecham back there, but I know he's on a yellow bike, so I believe that's Jarrett there in fourth or fifth place.
Yeah, we're looking for him, number 59. He's definitely on our timing and scoring screens. It's Dumas, Dallas Daniels. So Dumas right now with just about a 1 second lead as they're coming down through Rainy Curve. Then you have Sean Barsky, man.
Great job
from 12th on the grid.
Yes.
Sean is in second spot.
I saw this kid. I didn't get to talk to him the other day, but there's a good shot of Sean. This kid went into turn 6 a little bit early the other day, and I stayed out there and watched the second lap, and he went in there way too fast and way too wide. He had the front brake locked up, and anybody that follows Sean on Instagram knows this kid has some incredible talent on a motorcycle. He can wheelie anything, does a lot of stunting and that kind of thing, but he went off the track at such a high rate of speed, got in the gravel. Jackson Blackman now is trying to make this pass on him going into turn 2, and then Barsky just kind of lets off the brakes but still gets the bike slowed down. Anyways, he rode it in the gravel, Greg, at 100 mile an hour, probably 90 mile an hour. It was trying to get the bike turned in the gravel before it finally caught the air fence and spun him around and pitched him. I was really glad to see Sean get up, but I would have crashed way earlier than he did. He has a lot more talent than I ever did. But to see him, this is a big jump for him to go from 12th to now battling for second. And Jackson Blackman's a kid we haven't got to talk enough about this year. Talked to his dad a little bit yesterday. He's been having some eye problems, so he had some eyeglasses, and then yesterday he started going to contacts. Dad went to put a little eye drop in his eye before qualifying. Here you go. You can see Ashton lost the rear, Jay lost the front. And that is a used Ninja 400 there. You can see Ashton. There's Jay. Jay just tucked the front right just past the apex there.
Yeah, and you saw, that was the shot that we saw initially. And
he got up and got going, so good for Jay.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can get going again and maybe just try to salvage a point or two. It's really hard to do that. You can see he's frustrated.
He was, because he was in such a great position.
And you know, these kids, this is everything for them. I mean, to be able to come here and race on the world stage and do what they're doing.
And a huge change in the championship, too, because even if Alex could have finished second or third, he was going to relegate that lead in the championship. And now, if Alex can hold on to this position with 3 laps to go, he's going to get 25 solid points over Ashton Yates.
A big pass there.
Yeah, there goes Jarrett.
Yeah,
so
Jarrett.
it's him, the 59.
Just underneath Gage Reese. Good to see Gage up there, too. Gage fighting for that top 5, top 6 spot. So we've had a little bit of attrition in this race, but it's such a confidence builder for all these kids. And look at Jamie Astudillo. She has come from like nearly the last row. And she is flying, Greg. Where's she out of the minute 40.6? So she's a full almost second quicker than those in front of her.
In traffic.
In traffic. And here comes Jackson having to go, trying to look underneath Sean there.
Jamie Astudillo is on those green and pink leathers. Yeah, she's number 49, so you want to keep an eye on her back there as we look at number 48, Sean Barsky on that KTM. Teammates to our race leader, Alex Dumas, Sean Barsky, Biggest smile in the paddock without a question.
My God.
Oh, Ryder down.
Jackson loses the front turn 5.
And I was just going to say that Jackson. Another
That's
one.
Drake Beecham. That's a yellow bike. That's Jake. Yep, I recognize that bike.
Drake Beecham, 77 down.
These guys are all losing the front down in turn 5, Greg. They're trying to get in there so deep and they're trail braking. What you got to remember on these little bikes, you don't have a lot of weight going to the front tire, so it doesn't push that tire into the ground the way maybe a bigger bike does. So the contact patch isn't going to maybe be as big, and we've seen a lot of that today. And all the while, Alex is out in front just doing his thing. He's gone fastest first split. That's a real shame for Jackson. I was actually really pulling for him.
What I was going to say was Jackson was in 7th spot in the championship, and he was the only one in the top 8 in points that has not had a podium finish this year.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you right now, what do we got? We got 2 to go. Dallas is going to put his head down. He's going to have to, because his teammate, Jamie Astudillo, is flying, and he looks back to see that she's back there. Alex just ran his personal best in the fastest lap of this second sector of the race. He runs a 40.2. Jamie Astudillo is on a mission. If she could somehow claw her way to the back of her teammate, let's see, that last lap she goes 40.6. There you go. There's Gage Reese in there, Cameron Jones. So Cameron got back up after his tip over in turn 3, and he's back up and going. And you see Gage Reese back there as well with Jared.
So if you're joining us for the first time for Liqui Moly Junior Cup race action, this is not what we typically see. Riders just throwing it down the road without incident. That's very unusual. It is. It is WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. And what it brings, so Jamie Astudillo from crashing early on in this one.
Gage is having to go now. Good for Gage as he gets himself up into the mix of this group, battling for 4th place. I believe this would be Gage's best finish as well. It looks like now he's going to try to get underneath Jarrett going into 6th. It's a big move.
Big move and a dangerous spot on the racetrack as we saw crashing earlier on. This is the final lap.
Get Jarrett's draft. He's going to go to the right side of him, Greg. He's going to put him in a little bit, and he moves over. Good man. Gage is going to get himself up now. Oh, Jarrett lets off the brakes. So these two are going to battle all the way down to the corkscrew.
That was nice by Jarrett.
Good, clean racing, too, by both those guys.
Yeah. Final lap of this one, Alex Dumas is out front. Danger zone coming down the hill where we saw 2 riders. Dumas gets through it, so the final corner of the racetrack for Alex Dumas. Through turn 11 he comes, he twists the grip, and he goes into the full tuck. Alex Dumas, the trouble-free race for the man from Canada, and he takes the win and extends his points lead. Sean Umbarski, what a story from him, from 12th to 2nd. Then it's Dallas Daniels and Jamie Astudillo. Are you kidding me right now?
Unreal.
Jamie Astudillo
was flying.
She was flying, and she was out. I mean, she crashed.
The last row. She did that in 6 laps.
Jason, I can't express enough how important it is for young racers. If you crash and you're okay, go get your bike
up and keep going. You know, and
keep going.
You say that a lot, Greg, because I know it's a pet peeve. You're seeing people walk away from motorcycles, kids or not kids.
Yeah,
and look what it did for Cameron Jones.
Absolutely.
Cameron Jones, he fell over. He finishes 8th. So great to see Nick Swensgaard back. He's at 9th. Look at Umbarski. That's what he does best. Dylan Deutschland rounds out our top 10 with Mark Edwards finishing 7th. Gage Race. Great race for Jay
Newton picked the bike up. He finished 20th, just ahead of Emily Grana in her first race. She'll come home in 21st. So good for Emily, something to build on for sure.
Look at him. Look at him.
Sean's a stud.
He is an absolute weapon.
Yeah.
I love watching this guy.
KTM right now, that his team's going, you're starving our engine of oil right now, Sean.
Look,
please.
nobody wants to get close to him behind him, you know? But he could probably do that for miles and miles. I don't know if you know how hard that is to do that.
I can.
To find a balance point on a small, lightweight motorcycle like that. So, what do we have here? Gage crashed on the cool-off lap.
Is that Gage or Jamie?
Yeah, okay. I think it was Gage. It looked like number 46, but
that's a bummer.
I'm glad he's okay. I don't think it was Jay. There's 2 of them, Greg. There's 2 of them.
You know what? And this happens sometimes on cool-down laps. And we know it happens here in the past.
It does, yeah. I mean,
Bubba Schobert, you know what I mean?
Schobert, Kevin McGee. How could
sometimes,
you forget?
yes, on
I saw
celebrations.
Bubba here this weekend. Some photos. I know he's here. But that's horrible. Both those, and you know that we had a big crash at the end of World Superbike, at the end of MotoGP, Moto2.
Yeah.
In Jerez, there was an incident. So
things happen on the cool down lap. Sometimes riders get together, and
yeah. Good for Dallas Daniels. We saw him do so well. You can see Sean Umbarski is stopped up there, you know, and up in the corkscrew.
Yeah.
Dallas Daniels, who won the Dirt Track AMA Horizon Award this year at right before MotoAmerica.
Yeah,
that's why he
had
missed
to miss. He
qualifying.
had to miss qualifying
So,
for MotoAmerica.
that's
Yeah,
correct. So there you go, Greg. There's our result. Alex Dumas, second, was leading the points with Varsky in second. Dallas Daniels rounds out the podium. Jamie Astudillo, can't say enough. Amazing job. Jared Hosseini, they're running fifth. So,
and Ashton Yates losing 2 positions in the championship. All right, thank you for joining us on the Liqui Moly Junior Cup coverage here on beIN Sports. You can catch this all the time on beIN Sports Connect. For Jason, I'm Greg. See you soon.